Tank School Episode 2. Someone requested that I did a piece on tanks that were particularly difficult to play. I think that's a brilliant idea. So I've picked an initial 2 out of a number of tanks that I find it difficult to play. 2 are the AMX 1390, representative of the light tanks, and the Sherman E8. These are tanks I find it fairly difficult. I know a lot of other people find it difficult to consistently do well with. So, starting with the AMX 1390. Now, this tank has so many weaknesses it will be futile to start listing them. It has a few strengths, which is what we're going to have to play to when playing this particular tanks. Speed is very high, traverse speed is very high, and what is not noted here is the acceleration is also very good. It has a magazine gun, which is neither here nor there really, but the view range of 400 is useful, very useful. It also, as all light tanks, have the ability to retain its maximum camouflage value while moving. I've put a telescope on here. It turns out I move most of the time, so it's useless. I should really have put coated optics on it. So be it. That's what I have. Now, looking at the stats, we are looking at a win rate of 65%, average XP of 940, which I reckon that's pretty good. It's a difficult tank to play, and the games vary quite a lot. I think I played this more before they nerfed the autoloader reload speed. But yeah, 1200 average damage is something that will make a number of heavy tankers at tier 8 envious. And the medals and awards doesn't really mean much for this one. So let's have a look at some live action. This is a good map, Fisherman's Bay, to show off what a light tank can do. You would expect the light tanks to go up either in the center or down the western flank. You would not expect the tanks to go into the light tanks to go into the town, the eastern side, because they would get smacked. And I reckon that if I sit myself up here in this bush, I can spot the enemy as he starts moving up, and the telescope should be activating. Now, unfortunately, there's a light tank there. Has he spotted me? Yes, he has. Now, people make fun of the French tanks and the French in general for retreating and pulling back, but I would never do such a thing. Reversing very quickly out of a dangerous situation is an admirable thing to do. Remember the paradigm here: keep as many guns in the game shooting at the enemy as possible for as long as possible. So retreating is absolutely fine. I know other people who, as soon as they get shot at, they start attacking, and typically end up dying, which takes a gun out of the game. So in doing that, it's not recommended. I've probably spotted a couple of things here or there, but our attack on the western flank is not doing much. I can support a little bit. And you will notice, of course, this is a tier 9 battle. I'm not going to do massive amounts of damage. What I can do is continuously keep the enemy spotted and get others to shoot at them. You notice I start the reload here, the clip, and this is part of the reason why I don't play cartridge tanks. The luck and uncertainty factor associated with when you need to reload. Now, admittedly, emptying a clip into one tank is going to do a lot of damage, but if you have to reload, then you might be in trouble. And it turns out that most cartridge tanks actually don't have enough firepower in one clip to actually take out a full health enemy tank, which presents you with a problem. Take a T-57 Heavy versus an IS-7. The T-57 can do 1600 damage with its 4 shots. I think it's 4 anyway. With 1600 damage, the IS-7 has more than 2000 hit points. Problem, because that basically gives the IS-7 a lot of time to shoot back at you, and if you face tank him, you are probably going to die. But, everyone has their own style. My job here is basically spot as much as possible. Spot another one, E75, he's angry with me, I think, But having been spotted in the open, of course, now he is in a precarious situation because he knows that he will be taken under fire very quickly. So he decides, rather unwisely, to attack me. Oh, thinks he's safe. Got shots in it. Just too late on that one. But hopefully I can annoy him enough that he does something stupid. Oh, he clearly expected that. And again, I'm running backwards, running someone's house. I'll pay you after the war, mate, don't worry about that. That's just a shed, an old shed. And again, I'm running away while reloading my clip, basically just moving. I want to make sure that I am now not visible, and then I want to come straight in a straight line up to where I need to spot and then move away again. Now, in the meantime, the E75 has been, yeah, I don't know, brain hemorrhage? So anyway, I'll start shooting. That's another thing with the AMX. It is so quick that the terrain changes very rapidly under you as you shoot, and quite often you will find that as you shoot you're going to hit a bump or whatever and your gun is going to go all over the place. Another strength of this tank actually is the gun elevation and depression. It is more than adequate. It has good all-round mobility of the gun. Not quite enough elevation for my taste, but the depression is fine, as opposed to some of the other French tanks that have real problems in that space. So you can see this game you're thinking, what is Iceman on about? He's only done like 1,000 damage or something like that. Yes, but it turns out at the end of the match, and of course you won't see the stats page because I'm recording a replay, but at the end of the match I've done 4,500 spotting damage. 4,500. You know, if you do 4,500 damage in a tier 10 tank, you've had a good game. I think I got 1,900 or 2,000 XP for this battle. With me. So anyway, all their tanks are more or less dead. I've got 2 kills, a bit of damage, lots and lots of spotting damage. Here we go again, I spot him, and what is that? Is that 500 extra spotting damage I get right there? I'll have that. You notice how I didn't shoot at him. This one doesn't have really good shoot on the move. The accuracy on the gun is kind of pathetic when you're moving. So I move in front of this guy. I know I have full health, so I can take one shot from him without being blown up. But you can see now how my shots start flying all over the place because the terrain varies so quickly under me as I'm shooting. I miss, and I never miss. You saw I had 70% accuracy with this gun. That is not good. But anyway, I can just run around him and let my mates handle him. And it's game over. So that's how you play the AMX. Onwards then to the Sherman E8. Now this of course is a bigger tank with a bigger profile. It has sloped frontal armor. It's a shame that that plate that is sloped, the glacis, is only 1 millimeter thick, and it won't ever stop anything. Not even if someone throws a paper clip at you, it will pass straight through. So anyway, stabilizers, the ventilation and the rammer, because this is mainly a brawling tank. But it has no armor, a very high profile. What it does have that counts in its favor is high speed, high maneuverability, a very rapidly shooting gun, but be aware that the penetration on the gun is quite low, so you need to be shooting people in the side. This, for me, is a difficult tank to play. Still, I have decent stats on it, I think. Some 59-60% win rate, and I think decent average XP. The average damage, anything below 1,000 is obviously not good, but it is only a tier 6, so I guess this is not bad stats at all. The accuracy 66% is remarkable, I think, for a gun that shoots that fast and with very limited accuracy. When we have a look at maximum kill 7 and so on and so forth. But all in all, I guess for tier 6, not bad at all. Looking at the awards, it's interesting to look at the 54 hits in a row badge sharpshooter. Pretty neat. Anyway, let's move on to some of the fun stuff. Live action. I've shown you parts of this match before. It's a very good match. I end up with 7 kills and I think 3000 damage or something. But this time I'll actually try and explain what is going through my mind as I play. First of all, the Sherman has very, very good gun depression. So that means you can go hull down just about anywhere. It doesn't have great aiming time, and it's not very accurate, but it does shoot very quickly. The problem is actually when you hit people that you need to penetrate them. Heavy tanks with their fronts to you, quite hard. I mean, you could use gold. I prefer not to use gold at all. Others, you know, use it as if they had a tree with gold jobs growing on it. It's fine. You know, I think there's a bit of a challenge in not using gold, but of course when you do try and compare two players to each other, the stats will be distorted quite significantly based on whether they are regularly using gold or not, and I am one of the latter. I've seen quite a few people with a couple of thousand battles and, you know, 1100 average XP and so on, and many of them using gold. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. What matters is how much fun you have and how much of a difference you make for your team. So this is a standard attack. I keep myself low, even though I have a high profile. For some reason we have a tank destroyer in front with basically no armor. I don't know why Jason thinks that's a good idea, but he does actually turn out to survive longer than I do. So, whatever. Just waiting for some targets here. If there are none, we might go capping. Again, I can go hull down on this slope here, which is quite remarkable. Probably the only tank that can really do that in the game. And there you go. Hit the weak spot. Right on. Nothing happened. And there you go. The accuracy, the penetration is a problem. And now he's aiming at me, so I move. Again, it takes very little for me to roll back because of the quick acceleration both forwards and backwards. It helps me out of silly situations. Of course, my frontal armor, not even my turret armor, would have any chance of stopping that shot coming from the IS. Just checking. No line of sight to that guy. There is a guy over there. There he is. Okay, so now look at this. Basically, it's the top of my turret sticking out and the gun, so I'm hard to hit, and there is, contrary to common belief, some armor on my turret, and he's just eaten up, and he cannot shoot at me. And the E25 next to me has got the same low profile, and because the gun is in front of the tank, it's also has quite good depression. Let's see what this guy does. He's not coming out. It's T29. Absolutely pointless to shoot at that turret. 79 millimeters of armor. You know, even if I hit the weak spot, nothing's going to happen. So there was a tank destroyer over here. See what he's doing. He's got. Okay, well, let's just start shooting. I am perched up here in a place I don't really want to be. Artillery almost hit me. Here's another weakness of the Sherman. Artillery shells have a habit of penetrating your armor and exploding inside your tank. And guess what the result of that is? You are correct. Anyway, here we see the maneuverability and the speed, and in particular the acceleration of the Sherman allows me to take out this guy's friend, run around himself, and just shoot him to smithereens. Now just keep shooting. I'm like a swarm of bees, not doing a lot of damage in itself, but there are many of me. There we go. Closing in on 2000 damage. So far we've done well. Burn, yes, burn. It's always good fun putting people on fire. I tend to shoot a lot at the engine. You know, I don't shoot When I have a side shot, I don't shoot at the center of the tank, I shoot at the rear, just in case you can put him on fire. There you go, aiming time is too long, and as I shoot, he moves. Yeah, well, Jason gave him a bit of a slapping, so that's fine. And again, I have the speed, agility, maneuverability to just race around the map. And the plan now is to clear out the artillery, move up to the northeastern corner, see what's there, move back round through our own spawn, and back to base and defend that. I'm assuming that the cap that is currently in progress will not succeed. See if he is available for an appointment with my gun. He was not. Well, change of plans. Apparently I'm not going to go for artillery, I'm going to go and kill this boy. That turns out to be a dubious idea. But basically we are now 2 tanks down. It's a really, really bad situation. Their top tanks are still there. The IS, the Tiger, the artillery, but anyway, that's one less. Yeah. What is this? British anti-tank gun, a long range, with my gun. That's a joke. That is never ever gonna work. Okay, he hit me. What can we do? Okay. Crit him. Nothing. And we can't penetrate. Weak spot. Boom! Weak spot! No! Miss! So, unless this guy is a total retard, he ought to just eat me alive. But maybe he's getting... I don't think he's getting shot from anywhere. He could just kill me. But he's not. Yeah, but this is a problem. This is a problem. Apparently that's a weak spot. So, basically he handed me the victory. And now, of course, I see that the ISs are moving in on my friends down here. And I'm thinking, okay, we're down by 1 tank now. We were down by 2 tanks. That's okay, that was an artillery shot. I assume he's seen me or something. Okay, I gotta help them, because if those 2 guys, my guys down there, start getting attacked by 2 ISs with artillery support, it's game over, man.
Enemy armor is damaged. Penetration.
Yes, I know I aimed the shot at the center. I was cautious about the lag. I was having some lag last night.
Enemy is hit. Yep.
There you go. Put him on fire.
Penetration.
Here we go again.
Enemy armor is damaged.
And there we are. Closing on 3,000 damage now.
Enemy armor is hit. Critical hit.
He's tracked. And I got him. 7 kills, and I caught an artillery shell with my face. But that shows you what the Sherman can do. So you have to maximize that maneuverability, the rapidly shooting gun, and the ability to hold down with the great gun depression. Until next time, stay frosty.